Okay, this is Game 5 Sudden Death Overtime. It's been a little while, but I wanted to capture some of this project before it's complete, and if Montreal manages to pull off the victory, it will have been completed. So, this project being my condensed replay of the 1953-54 NHL season. I played a regular season, 20 games per team. I posted results about it on the play form on Delphi. And I did best of 5 for the semifinals, and this is a best of 7 Stanley Cup final. This is in Game 5. The score is 1-1 after 3 periods. This is a bunch of chicken scratch in a paper notebook that's probably, showing it on camera here, going to make little to no sense. But I've been slow playing this game, not only playing with the stacks method, but also taking my time and sort of this. I don't report about it much in Delphi actually, but sort of like for me, as the game's going along, I just find it more enjoyable. I report. There's a lot of names noted there, like who forced turnovers, who led the play, that sort of thing. So. It's going to be a little tricky for me here as I move the chair. This is, again, very similar to how I have it set up sometimes with the computer back here. I've made some effort to make it look a little better, hopefully, on camera. This is a board game playmat that I've acquired, I think, since I last, probably since I last posted. Maybe not. I'm not sure, actually. So anyway, yeah, it's 1-1 after 3 periods. Let's see, to recap the scoring, which normally I highlight with yellow. In the first period, in the 19th minute, it was Jean Beliveau on a zoom play, as I sometimes like to say, parlaying off Montreal's hit momentum. And in the second period, it was Boston, as they've been doing in this series. They've been getting a couple things for their scoring. Power plays is one. I think it's their 6th power play goal in the series already, and this is still just Game 5. And getting depth scoring as well. They don't really have necessarily somebody to match a Richard or even necessarily a Harvey, but what Boston does have is they have depth in their lineup, certainly up front. So anyway, this is sudden death. It's 1-1 after 3 periods. The third period was scoreless. I guess shots on goal I could look at as well. Said they were 7-6 in favor of Boston. So Boston has outshot Montreal actually in every period, really benefiting from being at home. But there were a lot of turnovers in the third period. So if I calculate here really quickly, 22 shots on goal in this game for Montreal and 31 for Boston. Which really, it looked like there were going to be a lot more. There were 20 shots each in the first couple of periods for the teams. I do things a little differently. If I do something here that's not in the rules, honestly, probably I've been playing that way for a while, so at least I'm consistently playing it slightly incorrectly. But I think one of many things, the beauty of Hockey Blast is that this book is, the rule book more specifically, I think by design it's a little more open-ended for certain things, open to the player's interpretation. So with that said, we're going to kick things off. These are the strategy cards, by the way. In a tie game, they're a lot less likely to be deployed. It could get interesting in a sudden death situation, but we'll see. Surprisingly, for all the ties that I have for the regular season portion, now that I see this is over 3 minutes, sorry, I'll have to timestamp it, of course. Of course, I'm going to talk too much before I roll and play. But for all the sudden deaths during the regular season, not sudden deaths, sorry, for all the tied games, because this was 54, there was no overtime during the regular season, right, the golden age. For all the tied games, I've only had one game go to sudden death during the playoffs. I was anticipating more sudden death playoff hockey. This is just the second one in, let's see, this would be 14 postseason games now, because I had one series go to 5, the other one to 4, again, best of 5s, and this one is in Game 5. So anyway, kicking things off, you cannot see the dice, so I'm going to slide them over here. I wanted to zoom in a little bit. So that roll is an 8. That means home team Boston gets possession off the hop. And let me see if I can drop them back here. So there could be a penalty call actually here in sudden death. If this is a 6 on the follow-up roll, I will reverse it and give a penalty to the visitor, even if it goes to the home team. I play for playoffs a little bit differently. So it's a 12, actually. So a 12, I believe that's unusual penalty. Or no, sorry. Defense, what am I talking about here? Now that I'm on camera, I'm already screwing things up. It's offense 5 rather. So offense 5, Godfrey, his penalty rating 1, but Richard's penalty rating a 1.5. This is something that has hurt Montreal and it has led to Boston's power play goals. So here in sudden death, perhaps a bit. Oh shoot, that was a 12th though, wasn't it? It wouldn't matter. It would be the visitor penalty. So it was going to be a visitor penalty anyway, as per how I have been playing off camera. So with the 3 for Richard, it's 1.5. 3 actually defaults to a bench. So this could be a really timely bad line change and a bench penalty. I feel better with that because even in sudden death, when refs want to be a little more lenient, I feel like a 6-on-5 situation. Yes, Montreal got away with one in the Carolina series in Hudson, but late in the series, didn't matter in the end. Carolina won, cleaned up and took care of business. But Montreal's going to get the penalty here. It's going to be not really Richard. We'll just say bench. Normally, I would just note this as something like bench and 2. So it will be Boston getting momentum here with the man advantage. Now, I could probably double shift Pearson, Sanford, and the like. For Montreal, they're going to go to Mosdell, and probably Geoffrion and Masnick will sit. And Richard, normally, I don't think we'll get back to him, but if he's in the box, normally what I do is I turn the card over like this to remind myself. Saint Laurent, I really want to double shift. I think actually I'm going to give Boston full benefit here. And seeing that Montreal is putting fresh legs on the ice, I think probably what they will do, they'll go to part-time defenseman Doug Moens. They'll put him here out as the number 5. Maybe go to Martin because he got an assist in the game. And they do have momentum, so he will get a square in, say, in a Montreal emergency shorthanded breakaway or something. And maybe Schmidt. We're going to get a real customized lineup here for Boston. This is, believe it or not, because of how, and I've reported about this in Delphi, because of how disappointing Montreal's been in this project. I'm kind of hoping for Boston. I could eat my words in the end, but let's see here. Boston power play 6-2, so they're going to get a play right off the hop. A power play. They have won the power play face off. Has Boston, and that play is going to be, let's see, a 10, so a 4-1-2 we're looking at. That's going to be Martin with his 1 momentum star, Pearson with his star, and Ed Sanford there. So we're looking at a 4-star play, but against the formidable Jacques Palant with his 4 play stars. So for his 4 play save stars. Boston is going to be keeping the puck. That's 6-6, so new power minutes roll, same line. But Palant there, he stops Ed Sanford. Palant is very difficult to beat in this. I guess this is going to be a really long video. I do want to, actually, no, I'm not going to note. I was going to start to write play Sanford. I didn't have to put the line through it, but rather than note the play-by-play, I can go back and watch this video and annotate from there. So I'll try to speed things up a little bit in that way. Anyway, so they've already been on for a couple minutes now. I do have to change them. I have to play fair enough, right? Even against my own team. Labine has provided some really good key depth scoring, though, for Boston in this playoff series. We'll go back to Quackenbush, and Moens will come off. I guess Quackenbush, Godfrey, that's the normal pairing anyway. I think they were a little less adamant about really forward power plays in the 50s. Correct me if I am wrong. And if you were around then, in which case you're watching YouTube, that's impressive. That's cool. So let me see what I did there. I had sat Masnick. I'm going to go to... maybe it'll be Masnick and Locke, actually, and we'll keep McKay off. We'll do something like that. I kind of improvised a little bit with the penalty kill. I think the important thing is Doug Harvey is on there. I'm tempted to go back to Johnson, but whatever. So Boston here in their second power play minute. And I should actually note the minutes, though. So this is minute 3, Boston second power play minute. And that is going to be a turnover. A turnover, and we're going to get, courtesy of Doug Harvey, we're going to shorthanded breakaway play here for Montreal. Again, this could be the cup. So a shorthanded breakaway play for Montreal, suddenly reversing fortune. That was the 3 and a 5 that rolled out. The breakaway giving them temporary momentum. 8 is what, 2-1-3, so they'll miss McKay's assist star there for the temporary momentum, but 2-1-3, it's going to be Elmer Locke shooting, and Masnick. So 2-star shot here for Elmer Locke against Henry, who also has 4 play save stars, and 5 and 4. So Boston will maintain possession. Trying to think if I did all that correctly. Yes, the new power minutes roll, but it was a turnover and a breakaway. So we're going to go into minute 4 now. I believe that was Boston with a power play opportunity squandered. It's going to be a little harder and slower for me with the line changes. If you could see behind the camera the angle at which I'm sitting, I'm normally right in front of the cards. Instead, I have to lean in here a little bit to make the line changes. McKay, Moore, and Beliveau, why not? And for Boston, it'll be Gus Bodner and Cal Gardner. Yes, they're two centers that I have elsewhere playing forward. Again, it was a condensed replay, hardly anything like as played, so I took some liberties creatively, as I do. And normally I don't roll the dice in the player cards either. So 5 and 5, 5 and 5. Now Boston with possession again, but thanks to Tom Johnson, my goodness, Boston, maybe they're pressing a little too hard. This is going to be a turnover and a breakaway for Montreal. Sorry, I got to roll off to the corner. Maybe what I got to do is zoom out just a little bit. Sorry, guys. Zoom out just a little bit here, so that this is, I've got the book resting on this, so that you can see it. So that was actually a 3 and a 3. That's going to be a 3-2-1 here in the breakaway. So that's going to be Beliveau, Moore, and McKay. That is a 4-star breakaway play. Maybe I'll move these so I have some dice rolling space. A 4-star breakaway play. Oh no! Oh no, that was a 4 and a 5. That was a 4 and a 5. A second breakaway play here, minute 5 into sudden death overtime. This is going to look terrible. I probably shouldn't even air this, I guess. I guess that is the Stanley Cup, though, for the first time since 2020, my Montreal Canadiens. And I hear some of you, if you're looking and not just listening, griping maybe at how that 5 die fell. But again, I'm just doing it how I honestly normally play it. And so it works that way. I do it consistently all the time for all teams. So, yeah, Jim Henry there with the 4 stars. And so 4 and 5. Callum McKay, who, if I'm to attach a storyline to this, has missed the past few games in this series for injury. Tell me there's no strange magic in the cards and dice, right? Do it. Because it looks to me like Callum McKay has come back. Now that the video's over, I finally found a way to straighten it out and make it look nicer on camera. But that's it, I think. So we're just under 12 minutes in, and I believe Montreal has, again, for the first time since 2019 or 2020, on my desktop. The first time in years on my desktop, and I should be happier about it. But this team has been really frustrating to roll. It's frustrating for Boston that they lose the Stanley Cup in Boston, but there you have it again. Taking some solace here in the fact that Callum McKay be in the series, the overtime folk hero. I mean, I could see it happening. So there, about 5 minutes in, Callum McKay has scored for the Montreal Canadiens. Anyway, as I say, I know, again, it's been a while, like I said off the top, but as always, anytime any consideration given to anything like this, while it's never expected, it is always greatly appreciated. I'm sorry if you're a Boston fan. Maybe this is what I needed to do to break the Bruins curse on my desktop. And Montreal's been cursed ever since forever ago. I was playing shootout hockey in this game where the Montreal area born, at least, Mike Bossy completely took over and single-handedly almost dismantled Montreal Canadiens in what I believe then was like a game. Yeah, it was a game 7 of a Stanley Cup final game. Montreal's won nothing on my desktop since. So it's been years, guys. And this one, again, bittersweet's not the word, but it's just, they sucked so much during the regular season. But weirdly enough, so Rocket Richard, no goals in this game, but 6 goals in the first 4 games in this series. Rocket finally showed up to play. And it just goes to show, I guess, that what Hockey Blast, among the many things that it can, despite being a simple game on the surface, what it can, I guess, one could say, emulate is that sometimes when you play a team in the regular season, like Montreal against Carolina during the regular season in 2026, and then when you have to play a team again and again over and over again back-to-back in a Stanley Cup playoff series, you're seeing the same team, the same matchups again and again. It can just prove to be a different story. So, again, sorry this video is probably like 12 minutes longer than it needs to be, but this is how I've been playing it. In case anybody was curious, for what it is worth, it is how I've been playing it throughout the course of it. So, Montreal, man. P-Jet, if you're listening, you were right, man. I was calling them the improbables. The improbables hath become the inevitables. But not on my desktop. Normally it's the Montreal underwhelming under my desktop. But the inevitables have pulled through here. 5 minutes into sudden death overtime. Callum McKay from, I guess... yeah, it was a 6, so 3-2-1, yeah. Dickie Moore and Beliveau. I was starting to think maybe I should have gone 4-2-1. I'll have to play the video back. If I've really done something too highly bad, then I guess I can scrap a sudden death period and not upload it. But I think I've done everything here above board, at least as how I play it always. So, one moment. There I fished out what was formerly part of a Pez dispenser, Stanley Cup. Excuse me. So this Stanley Cup, I'm awarding to Montreal. Anyways, once again, everybody, have a great day, have a great time, great weekend, and thank you for any time that you give to this. And now go and enjoy your own projects. All right, peace.